Oh, I hate getting up in the morning. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Anything Basic. I know, the long night there, and I better click this off. I better turn this off. Today we're gonna talk about BiDEN, and his executive order that has skyrocketed all the cryptocurrency prices into where they were. It's just where they were. It's not like spectacular or anything. Ethereum's actually down, which I guess is a good thing for gas prices. But got a bunch of topics, mainly on privacy currencies, and of course the whole Russia thing. I'm not supporting Russia. Don't block me, YouTube. Don't block me, YouTube. I'm not supporting Russia or having anything collusions with Russia. You don't need to block me. Well, you already shadow banned me, so whatever. Tainted Bitcoins, Zcash and Monero pump. I already talked about that. And we're not mining Bitcoin anymore. We're farming now. I think I really want to say that Bitcoin mining is this is the end. This is the last quarter that you're gonna get out of Bitcoin mining, and I have to bring up that article later. But those are the topics for today. We're gonna talk about Biden. Today we're gonna talk about Biden. Let's go ahead and read this. Biden to sign executive order on crypto, authorize all government effort to consolidate regulation. Now, before we go into this, keep this in the back of your mind. The government wasn't supposed to be involved in the first place, and we're seeing what government involvement really entails. It means you might get your bank account shut down. You might get your Bitcoin frozen if it's on the exchange. So do you really want the regulators to come in? I don't know. By the way, this Matrix mix you said at the beginning, it's pretty dope. Yeah, you might want to go give that a good listen. I've actually listened through this mix about, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. It never gets old. It's really good. But on to the documents. Really? Yeah, I'll get that later. The document does not announce any restrictive measures, but it will undoubtedly lay the groundwork for more focused federal oversight. Later today, U.S. President Joe Biden will sign a long-anticipated executive order on digital assets, despite fears that the order may resound a regulatory clampdown on the industry. The language of the document is fairly favorable, the key focus being the coordinated and consolidation of various agencies' efforts within a unified national policy. The order designates 6 key areas of the federal government's involvement with the digital asset ecosystem: consumer and investor protection, financial stability, financial inclusion, responsibility, innovation, and United States global financial leadership, and combating illicit financial activity, and direct specific agencies to lead in designated policies and enforcement domains. That's a bunch of red tape for we're going to control this as the United States government. It's no longer a project that's just on the sidelines. The Department of Treasury will take the lead in developing policy recommendations for mitigating both systemic and consumer risks associated with the digital assets. The Financial Stability and Oversight Council is directed to assess global, and domestic risks and highly policy gaps that should be closed. Matters on national security and combating illicit finance will become a whole of government concern, with a relevant agencies directing unprecedented focus of coordinated action on crypto-related risks. In addition to addressing risks, Biden's executive order makes a nod to digital assets' potential to expand the accessibility of financial services and contribute to maintaining the United States global financial leadership. Specifically, it directs the Department of Commerce to devise a framework ensuring that the U.S. is competitive in the digital asset space. Meaning they're just going to regulate everybody else into oblivion. The order also directs Treasury to produce a report on the future of money and payment systems and encourage the Federal Reserve to ramp up research and development of potential U.S. central bank digital currency, or CBDC. They're coming out with their own digital currency. There you go. There you go. The U.S. government's coming out with its own central bank digital currency, CBDC. There you go. Now, the question is, do they want the competition? And I'm going to say no. The executive order comes amid the U.S. government's highlighted concerns over the possibility of Russia using cryptocurrencies to dodge Western sanctions. Is it really about Russia? In the wake of all of its military actions in Ukraine, semi-informed speculations regarding the contents of the document began to circulate one day before its actual publication, as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's statement on the public went public prematurely, apparently by error. She seems to make a lot of errors. just throw it out there. She seems to make a. Okay, so that's what the launch of the FBI crypto task force means for digital asset space. Okay. We'll come back to that. So, what I'm hearing here, I'm just going to summarize this. Basically, more control, more regulation, global regulation, and we're issuing our own currency, a digital currency. Not as though, most of 90% of the actual U.S. dollars weren't digital. I mean, come on. Especially the extra 45% that's been tacked on since the last 2 years. Yeah, it's all digital. We'll never see it as U.S. citizens. So, this is basically what happened, and we're gonna check the CoinGecko right now. Of course, CoinGecko is blowing up since Bitcoin's just towered. All of a sudden, just did this big about face. Let's see. Ethereum didn't get that boost quite so well. But what did receive the boost quite so well was Terra. I haven't looked into that cryptocurrency, if it's a cryptocurrency. I forget the 6%ers. Near took it pretty good. Let's see. And Monero, of course. I find it interesting that Monero had a big jump like this. I know it's not like really a big jump as a 13%, but from Monero, something that is generally shunned from the exchanges, for it to jump up, it jumped over $200. For it to jump over $200 all of a sudden, and then just kind of level out as there's a slight sell-off. That signals something to me. That's signaling something that a privacy currency is getting that much traction, and even more so. Scroll down a little bit. Waves, of course, waves, but Zcash is running. For Zcash to jump up this much, it's not technically a privacy currency. Technically, it's privacy by choice. For it to jump up this much, it's just interesting. It's interesting. It's especially on Binance. By the way, Binance announced that it's going to be collecting more real-world companies as assets. A lot of mergers happening in the real world with Binance. That's another topic as well. Jeez. Okay, let me collect my shekels. Give me my shekels. Fine. What's this? We can gamble? Fine. Cool. Yahtzee. Alright, so what do you guys think? Does Biden's executive order, do you think Biden's executive order did this? Do you think people will just realize that if the government's gonna shut everything down, this Bitcoin, we should probably start heading to privacy currencies that are not quite on exchanges and can't really be tracked as easily? Because that seems to be the sentiment, seeing that Zcash and having ZK Starks and Monero and Firo previously. Being Zcoin has just jumped through the freaking roof in the last 6 hours. Last 6 hours ago, and it's trending. If you go down here, yeah, it's actually trending. it's jumped up high enough to be on the trending list. So what do you guys think? Are we in for a rough ride here? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon.